Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Good. Then this is a conversation for Coherence 2025, and I am here with ROSO, who is representing RnDAO. There you go.
See you. Hey, Alex. Hey, everybody watching.
Hello. Okay, Rosa. So I want to get to know you a little bit more. I mean, you guys at RnDAO, and see what makes you want to be part of this project, part of Coherence, right?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for asking. So, RnDAO. Would you like me to do a short introduction on RnDAO and what we're doing? Hmm?
That would be great. That would be great. So maybe we can tackle it from this perspective. If you could tell me more about RnDAO and how it is related to the topics of wise AI and conscious collaboration, because these are the main themes of Coherence.
Yeah. Great question. So, look, at RnDAO, we're building an ecosystem of startups. All the startups are focusing on collaboration technology. And essentially, what we do, we have this group of startups that are building in the same niche of a niche. We're a niche. Web3 is a niche. CollabTech is another niche. Collaboration technology, what we call collaboration technology, is all the tools that facilitate human collaboration, essentially. So each project is solving a small problem, and by being part of the RnDAO group, they can combine their solutions to solve bigger problems together, attract bigger customers, investors, contributors, leverage each other's work. So this is why you choose to join a thing like RnDAO, because you can leverage the work that's being done by others and collaborate both directly and indirectly. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's the idea. And the
Yeah.
reason you asked me about Coherence, right? So the reason we wanted to join Coherence, and I think you're gonna ask me this later, but
You're reading my mind.
yeah. So the reason we wanted to join Coherence is because if I understand correctly, right, we are having this conversation now. We get to know each other. Then we're sharing this conversation with other people so they can also see it. And if it makes sense for them and they feel aligned with us from RnDAO and I feel aligned with them, then we connect. So we have asynchronous conversations essentially with each other, and then we have the ability to connect and take it from there. I don't know if that's right.
Yes, it is right. So let's say people are searching for, okay, who can I have conversations with? And then they check the list and then they see, oh, RnDAO, let me see who these guys are, right? And then they can view this conversation and hear you talking about RnDAO.
Got it.
But
That's
now it's
why.
like that. Plus also do manual matchmaking. So this is why I have another question, like who do you actually want to connect with, right? So that I can see, okay, so maybe you should have a call with this and that person.
Nice. So look, at this point, I don't know if you talk to any investors, but at this point we're growing our investor network. So that's one. So investors who want access to applications that are being built in collaboration technology, then we are a great place to find those. So yeah, so feel free to reach out. And the other group that we'd like to meet is projects, founders, or even aspiring entrepreneurs, people who want to build collaboration technology or who are already building collaboration technology. It doesn't make sense to be out there building alone when there is a place like RnDAO where you can just join and have access to a whole network of ventures that are doing essentially a very similar thing to you. And yeah, you can essentially, it's leverage. I'll say it again and again and again because it is leverage. And by the way, we call this thing a swarm. This is a term that we use.
Can you tell me more about the swarm?
The swarm is essentially what we call this group of ventures. that
But what?
collaborate directly and indirectly with each other. And when I say indirect collaboration, I mean, for example, we have what we call collaborative databases. That's one thing, one
Okay.
way to indirectly collaborate. So imagine in Notion, people have CRMs, right? Or forget Notion. People have CRMs for their venture, for their startup.
Yeah, yeah.
What we do is all the CRMs for the individual ventures are connected in a single CRM.
Wow,
So
okay.
each one has their own version of the CRM, and all these versions are connected to a single collaborative CRM, which we can all use to see. So if you are connected to this person, I can reach out to that person through you.
Mm.
And we can do stuff like that. So if you are doing a campaign, for example, to meet Arbitrum delegates, I don't know,
Yeah.
then if you're doing that, and I want to also do it for my project, I don't have to do it again from zero. I
Mm-hmm.
can just see the work that you've done and have access to it and use it for my benefit.
Mm-hmm. And to just like have a rough estimation, how many ventures are there in the ecosystem? And I'm also curious, how big is the size of this mega CRM?
The size of the mega CRM is pretty mega, I would say. The size of the ecosystem is really early. It's expanding exponentially, I would say. So
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now we have about 10 ventures, but
All
this
right.
is growing exponentially. Again,
Mm.
the more people that join, the more people that want to join, and this is, you know,
Mm-hmm. So 10 ventures, and how many more do you plan to onboard this year, for example?
hmm. I don't want to say that. I don't want to put a number on that because it's not like we have a target number of
Okay,
ventures to onboard.
great.
It depends on, so let's say we get one per week
Mm-hmm.
or two to want to join, but then the process is simple, by the way, for anyone interested. You just join the RnDAO Discord, you introduce yourself in the interest channel, and then I personally welcome you there. We get on an onboarding call, you fill out the form, I share the form with our team, and then we get on more calls, you get on more calls with our team, and then if it makes sense, you join the RnDAO ecosystem. So that's the process. I don't want to put a number on how many ventures we expect to
Mm-hmm.
onboard until the last of the year, the end of the year, because it might be 20, it
Yeah,
might
yeah,
be zero, depending
yeah.
on who
Align.
joins.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure, sure.
on alignment. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just curious also from my personal perspective, because it looks like a very interesting topic for pre-branding perhaps as well. Is it an ecosystem only for ventures, or do you also onboard consultants, creatives, like, or any? Yeah.
So yeah, good question, because the idea is, as I said, the the bigger the ecosystem, the more people of
Sure.
all kinds of people it attracts, and
Yeah, yeah.
they are all aligned with what we are doing. So they're all aligned with this, with the Web3 space, AI, collaboration, with our values, Web3 values, decentralization, and all that. Of course, when you have startups, you need contributors.
Mm-hmm.
So these contributors can be anything. It can be marketers, it can be developers, it can be, as you said, designers, consultants, all kinds of people who would like to contribute. Now, the thing is that when you join a startup, or a startup within RnDAO in particular,
Mm-hmm.
you're more like a co-founder than
Okay.
than an employee to that startup,
Yeah, of course,
right?
yes.
So people who are looking for a job,
Yeah.
maybe RnDAO is not the best place for them.
Mm-hmm.
But for those who are looking to get involved with a
All right.
smaller project and
Yeah.
help it grow, help it
Mm-hmm.
get resources and then pay themselves from those resources, then RnDAO and the ventures within RnDAO are an ideal place to do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Perfect. So for people looking for some sort of involvement, that have overflow of time and they want to meaningfully contribute to something that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This doesn't mean, by the way, that you don't get any fiat currency, like you don't get any dollars. We all have bills to pay, right? So the thing is the mindset.
Not the starting point, right? Yeah.
Yeah. If you have the mindset that I want to become a co-founder, that I want to be building my own project, then that's why this is the best place for you. It doesn't mean that you don't have bills to pay. It doesn't mean that you don't need money. We all need money. So as long as you're willing to receive part of your compensation in fiat currency and part of your compensation in ownership,
Tokens,
because you want to own the thing you're building, the work you're doing, then we are aligned.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm interested. I see many. It's a door opener, basically. I have realized, like a Coherence, right? I also didn't receive any fiat currency for my work for Coherence, but it opened so many doors. It's crazy, and it's going to open only. Yeah.
Yeah, and you may end up getting a whole lot of money by doing this if it works out and if you have a business model and all that. So yeah, we are all for revenue and business. Yeah, it's not like we are building this for the improvement of society with no expectation of revenue or something like that. We need these things to be sustainable. We believe in revenue.
Yeah, of course. And you are also bringing investments, right, to those startups. And can you share maybe some number of the size of funds that you have developed already?
It's not that we invest in ventures, at least not money. What we invest is time. Time, and essentially when you join RnDAO, you get access to all the resources that are there in the RnDAO ecosystem. You can, if for example you want to get a grant to sustain your operations for another 6 months, 1 year, and build your project, then we've done this before a million times with the biggest ecosystems in Web3. So it's better if you have a co-founder in your team who's done this a million times. And this co-founder is RnDAO, essentially.
Yeah, good. Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, and okay, so 10 startups for now, but these are like one-man armies, or are teams? Like how big is the tribe? Like how many people are there actually in RnDAO?
I would say, I was just checking the stats. We have a tool called Together Crew that gives you analytics from your community. So if you plug it in your community, you can see analytics. It has other tools as well, but let's focus on the analytics right now. So I saw that we have 38 active contributors, meaning that in the past, I don't know, few months, these contributors have been very active in this community. So that's why I say 38. Essentially, every team, the whole idea is that you have small teams that are in each startup is a small team that is building something different, but they can combine these things and, as I said earlier, solve bigger problems together. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I have this question also. How do you actually understand coherence, and what is it that we are doing here?
This is the question, by the way, I tried to answer. I tried to answer earlier. How do I understand coherence?
For the clubs, right? So this is what now I want to have it on the record.
Yeah. So what is the second question within the question? So how do I understand coherence and?
And what questions do you have?
Good. Awesome. So the way I understand coherence is that we're having this call right now, async. We are recording it, and then you're sharing it with other people that may be interesting or may not be interested in what we are saying, what we're talking about in this call. And then through that, you're also having similar calls with other people. And
Yeah.
then we can have calls with each other if we feel um, like it, right? If we want to, if we feel like we want to collaborate. So essentially, you facilitate collaboration, you facilitate this
Yeah.
connection between aligned people,
Yeah.
async.
Mm-hmm.
And the question I have is whether my understanding is correct, because I only found out about coherence like 2 weeks ago. I mean, this is when you shared, and so yeah, is my understanding correct or no?
Yes, and
Okay.
so absolutely. It is about us having this conversation and recording it so that people can find it. At the same time, we are not optimizing for that, because most of these calls are like half an hour to 1 hour, sometimes even more. So we are targeting busy people.
Yeah.
They don't have time to sit and watch 1 hour when somebody's rambling, right? So basically, first of all, yes, we are going to get AI summaries of these calls and extract the most important points. And this is why we are establishing collaboration with AI tech, right? So that we can have this engines plugged in to extract the like real most out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one. Second, uh, it's about conversations explicit. Like, so me and you are having now a conversation. Forget about that it is recorded. I'm getting to know RnDAO better, and you are getting to know me, my skills. Maybe we talk about pre-branding, whatever, right? So basically, we now know more about how might we collaborate. I know like who are you searching, from whom can I recommend to like have conversations with you on which topics, right? So basically, it's like today we were on this call, and one of the insights that Bart Hurvek gave was that we gave people a reason to talk to each other,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Very nice. Very nice.
Bam. So simple, right? Because everything starts from the conversation. But before coherence, like, you know, this very same thing on these conversations are going to be recorded and published on YouTube. It's like an impulse, right? Doesn't matter that nobody watches it, but we are having this call,
True. And you get
right?
information from this call based on which you can connect us to someone else or connect someone else to us if you
I
see
mean,
that it makes sense.
it may happen through various ways, right? So of course you will have your profile on a Coherence page, and people can find you there. Absolutely, I can matchmake you. You can also get inside. I will add you to our Telegram group. You can introduce RnDAO, say who do you want to talk to. So basically, it's about finding ways to have more of these conversations, right? And there can be various ways.
Mm-hmm. And then the future conversations, let's say I connect with someone else from Coherence. The idea is that that conversation will also be recorded, no?
Yeah, exactly. You get access to our dashboard, and in dashboard you will find scripts for the conversations and suggestions how to run them, right? So basically, this is like a list of hints on how to make the most out of it. And you talk about whatever you decide to talk about, then you record it, and then you upload it, and we publish it.
Beautiful.
So we have built like it's like a no-code tool to build a platform, and it's like a layer over the Airtable. So yeah, it works pretty smoothly. And as soon as we finish this call, I will also show you how to set up your profile there
Amazing.
with
Amazing.
with a booking link so that people can come and book you for the call.
And I think you touched on it. You said something about AI facilitating this connection. Like we record this, we share it with the AI, right? And then does AI have access to this conversation and all the other conversations and is able to see commonalities and share, connect people, or is that the idea for the future?
We are out of my jurisdiction.
Yeah.
I don't work with the AI department. So basically, I know more or less like with what organizations they're working on and what do they want to achieve. But I would say that they are advancing pretty fast. And while I stayed in my lane, I didn't really get the newest insights on what is done. So if you are interested to have conversations about AI, I can connect you with people that work on this simply.
Why not? Let's see.
And how do you use AI, by the way, in RnDAO?
How we use AI. First of all, our tools, some of our tools are using AI. We tried not to replace the human interaction, instead, use AI to make our lives easier. So, for example, as I mentioned earlier, we have a Together Crew. Together Crew has two tools right now, mainly. It's three, but let's say two are for Telegram communities. Just add them and make the life of community managers and community founders, builders easier. So,
Really?
for example, if you've ever managed the Telegram community, you get repeated questions, like the same question again and again and again. And you have to be there as a community manager, you're paid to do that, and have to respond to the same question again and again and again. Or if you're a community builder, the same, or a founder at the early stage, you have to do the same. We've created a tool that when you connect it to a Telegram group, and you also connect it to your website and other information sources, it has access to all this information, which it uses as context, based on which it responds to the repeated questions that your community is asking. So you don't have to do it, right?
Okay.
You just have it there. Another thing is summary. If you are away for 2 days and you go back to your community, or if you are in 10 communities, right? You wanna very quickly be able to know what has happened while you were away. So we have this tool called summaries, and you get a summary of everything that's happened. So these are two tools. At the same time, the moment you connect the tool to your community, you get analytics of that community, who has engaged, who is very engaged, who has just disengaged. So essentially, you can use all these things to achieve your goals, the goals anyone has with their community. This may be engagement or anything else.
Perfect. I know that one of the tools in RnDAO is CollabTech, isn't it?
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I had a very lovely chat with Gustavo the other day. It's also recorded.
Yeah. CollabTech is also in Coherence. I saw that as well. Yeah.
Exactly.
And Gas. Yeah. We love each venture within RnDAO. I can tell you that for sure.
Once again?
I said we love each venture within RnDAO. They're like our children.
Of course. Okay, good. My dear. So what projects would you like to connect with? Or also what conversations would you like to have? This is like, one question in two.
So the projects we would like to connect with is any project that is building collaboration technology. As I defined it earlier, CollabTech is tech or tools that facilitate human collaboration, that make it easier for me and you to work together.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are projects that we want to be connected with. These projects, people who want to join projects like that, I want to connect with and contribute, but this, and also investors. But you asked me for
Yes.
projects right now, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, I think I have it. Ah, no, this crazy bonus question. What
Okay.
questions are you bringing into Coherence 2025?
What questions am I bringing?
Yes.
I honestly don't know. I don't have an answer to this.
Ah,
So I'm not bringing the question. I have it in my mind. So what questions could I be bringing? This is a question that I have right now in my mind. I don't have it. Can you give me
no,
an
no,
example? Well,
this is a very good one.
yeah,
The question is,
I,
what questions can I be bringing? It's an
yeah,
open for answers.
exactly. Yeah, I'm open. I'm open. I'm gonna keep this question in my mind, and as we move forward to the next steps within Coherence, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
thinking about it. And, yeah, bring
good,
you the questions that come up,
good. I love questions. So basically, if you come up with some interesting questions, always share this with me.
of course.
Sweet. Okay, thank you so much for today, and happy cohering.
Happy Cohering. Thank you. And yeah, and again, one last thing I want to say is that anyone who found this conversation interesting, we either connect through Coherence, or a simple thing to do is just join the RnDAO Discord through rndao.io. You'll find the link. Say hi in the introductions channel, and I'll see you there.
Yes, I will link. We will link the link in the description, so it's easy to find down there.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you,
All
Alex, for
right.
doing that.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank you so
and
much.
thank you, Coherence.
All right. Take care. Yoo-hoo.